Becoming an overnight success is a sort of fantasy that we're sold will solve all of our problems, but it's a lie and it's only keeping you from discovering and embodying more of your latent potential. I want to talk about the slow and boring path to success because it's really the path that is sustainable, nourishing, and fulfilling. It's just hard. It takes a hard work, but there's a way that we can make this work feel as life-giving as it can be, so where it doesn't feel like a job or a bear, but it brings us more alive. So in this video, I just want to talk about how you can embody more of your authentic blueprint to success. You can get rid of all those bullshit timelines and fantasies so that you can be fully present to give your best work to the world and live the successful lifestyle that you crave. If you're new here, my name's Kev. I'm an award-winning furniture designer, and right now I just love teaching emotional intelligence to creative entrepreneurs. So the reason why I think the slow and boring way is truly the only path to success is it is unfolding and expanding at a rate that you have the capacity to handle. I think there's something about the percentage of lottery winners that end up going bankrupt because, I mean, that percentage I think is like 80-something%, maybe even more, because that much money blows out the system. Most people's nervous system can't handle having that much energy, currency, value, money running through their lives, so they just blast themselves to dysregulation and they don't end up really living in a sustainable, wealthy lifestyle from that. So in the same way with success, the overnight success is actually unsustainable, right? You hear people selling their companies for millions of dollars and feel lost and purposeless. Just because you cultivate success doesn't mean you're living on purpose. So the slow way is a way that we attune to what feels most alive to us, what is nourishing in the long run, which tends to be something that's more aligned and on purpose, right? So as we expand our capacity to keep deepening our relationship to the real value we want to be giving to the world, we are also expanding our capacity to be seen, to take on the responsibility, and to take on more resources and money incrementally. You can't skip steps. You're gonna have to go back, right? And so progress is often slow. There's moments of exponential growth, sure, but the devotion and dedication that it takes as a creative entrepreneur to keep showing up, to keep giving your gifts anyways, even when it seems like nothing is happening, is what builds the resilience for you to truly create an authentic, sustainable version of success that is life-giving, right? And we're always course-correcting and redirecting. I don't know anybody who has been like, this is the goal I want to work towards. I'm going to get there, and once I'm there, I'll be fulfilled. Inevitably, people alter what that goal looks like along the way. And if they get there, they realize, hey, there's more. This isn't it. There's something deeper, right? What I could not see from the vantage point of creating this desire, of creating this goal, I now see when I'm within it. Just in the same way that you're looking at, say, a distant mountain peak, you don't actually know what you're going to be able to see from there. You can have an imagination, right? And this shouldn't get in the way of you wanting to climb that mountain. But once you get to that place, you then actually are faced with the reality of, wow, I actually didn't even know that this all was over here. I didn't know I could see the city. I didn't know I could see the ocean. And you know what? Shoot, I thought it was going to be different. This is what the slow and boring path to success is it's not banking on the outcome. It's not attaching your value, thinking you know what it's going to be like when you get there. And instead, it's learning to resource yourself completely in the now. because the now is the only place that you create from. You don't create from yesterday, you don't create from tomorrow. You create right here and right now. And what the world feels, maybe even fears, what the world feels is the presence from which you create. That is your gift to the world. I know I'm a broken record, but the more that you give your presence now, the more you are expanding your capacity to meet the moment, to give your depth, to connect, to relate, to create great art, to solve problems more consciously, which expands your capacity, right? You become more resilient, you make better connections, you experiment with what it's like to hold more money in your system. You expand one step at a time in all directions, not a giant leap pole vaulting. Or there's that Dutch game, gosh, I forget what it's called, where they pole vault and they have to climb up the pole and see how far they go. You're not really playing that, right? I mean, maybe you are if that's the way that you're approaching entrepreneurship. But the slow and boring way is actually the way that feels most alive to me. Because I get the spaciousness to really question and be in the embodiment of, am I on purpose? How am I feeling right now? Is this making me feel alive? What's happening in my body? You don't burn out from this place, or at least you're a lot less likely to burn out. You create a lot of space to live your life. Even though, I mean, you know, giving your gifts, being on purpose with how you show up in the world through your vocation is a huge part of it. You get to actually give yourself time to be inspired, live your life, tend to the people and places that you love. All of this is sustainable, right? The overnight success is not sustainable. The going viral, the winning the lottery, you know, so many people subscribe to this lottery mindset. One day I'll hit it big. One day I'll finally, you know, have a viral video. One day I will finally be in the right place at the right time and I'll meet the person that's going to solve all my problems. No, that's bullshit. You have to be so devoted to cultivating the life that you love now and being okay with the way things are now. Doesn't mean you don't want to change it, but that is the only place where the soil is fertile enough for your dreams to be built. It has to be a continuous thread of tending to it every single day. So how are you showing up in your career, in your business now? Are you cultivating that level of aliveness, of depth, of presence and purpose now? Because those are the ingredients that expand your capacity to receive more. Expand your surface area for luck. Expand your capacity to embrace magic. Expand your ecosystems to bring money, people, whatever you desire into your life. The slow and boring way, although it might seem slow and boring, is actually sustainable and deeply fulfilling, because there's so much space for your autonomy, for your agency, for your course corrections, for your pivoting, and to just imbue more and more creativity and whatever you value each and every single day. Slow is fast. Please slow the fuck down and really get keen on what is something that I can devote myself wholeheartedly to for the next 10 years. And experiment. Doesn't mean I'm doing this for 10 years, I'm going to do the same thing every day. Move in that direction, allow yourself to pivot, be detached from outcomes, but totally committed to that process. That's where you become magnetic, because you are leaving your authentic footprint on the world, and that is rewarded in the marketplace. So if you found value from this video, I'd love to hear what that is. If you want a deep dive into how to do the deep inner work to become more embodied in your authenticity, the Embodied Creator Toolkit is the training that'll help you out. Links in the description below. But in the meantime, for those of you that don't check that out, I'm grateful that you're here, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!